this last question. Are you attracted to men? Yes. Happy Sunday. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm the Ignorant Intellectual, the bridge between the hood and the ivory tower, black brilliance, formal education not required. So I took a poll on my Instagram. Y'all wanted me to do a Q&A after the last video I put up where I discussed why I'm a bald head scallywag who ain't got no hair in the back. I guess that inspired y'all to want to know more about me, so you put a slew of questions in my Instagram. I'm gonna get through as many of these as possible. I might break this up into 2 videos, but I am very happy and honored that y'all want to get to know more about me. You are telling me that you're enjoying my story times that I'm posting on this channel, etc. So the first question was, what is your name and does it have a meaning? My name is Zarandrian Shuntrell Morris, and it absolutely has a meaning. I am named by my mother. My mother, Patricia, named me Zarandrian. Zarandrian means unique one sent by God. And a very weird thing happened to me like last year. Somebody slid into my Facebook Messenger DM saying, I think I know you. I know this sounds crazy, but I think you named after me. And this person's name is Zarandrian. And you might say, well, why you didn't already know this person exists? I think my mother has a level of trauma and there's certain things she doesn't share, and I've had to learn to cope with that. And so my mother, my whole life told me that my mother is a retired NICU nurse. And my mama told me my whole life that she got my name from a book of names, that she found this book in the library at Dillard when she was studying for her nursing praxis exam. That has been the story I've been told as to where my mama got the name Zarandrian from. But I have learned that that is actually not true. So, like I said, somebody slid into my Facebook DM saying, I know this might sound crazy, but I think you named after me. And at first I was like, this is crazy, whatever. So I read the message and things started lining up. So that person's name, my name is Zarandrian Shuntrell. That person's name is Zarandrian Shuntrell. She is about 6 years older than me. So she's telling me in his Facebook DM that she has an aunt named June, who I have since met. And I still talk to Aunt June. She's about 80 something years old. She lives in Florida. She retired. She left New Orleans and she lives in Florida. So Zarandrian is telling me, I think I know your mom. Like Aunt June, my mother graduated from Dillard School of Nursing in 1964. And Aunt June was a janitor at Dillard. And I guess my mom and her became cool. Like she would see her when she was going to class. And Aunt June was excited because she had a niece. Zarandrian made everybody an aunt and a grandma. She was the first niece in the family. So Aunt June showing my mama these pictures of Zarandrian back in like the 60s or the 70s. I don't know when it was. And my mama said, if I have a child, I'm going to name my child Zarandrian. Like I love that name. Now I'm learning all of this through Zarandrian as I'm now on the phone with her. And so I'm named after Zarandrian. And Zarandrian is telling me in the DM, I also think so my mama is a retired NICU nurse. And there was a baby boy born in New Orleans. He was like 4 pounds. Like he was born super early and he survived. That baby boy is the son of Zarandrian number 1, because I respect she older than me. And my mother was the nurse of that little boy. So it just came like, it was crazy. I'm named after Zarandrian, who is the niece of Aunt June, who my mama knew when she was in Dillard. And I don't quite know about this book of names that my mama been telling me about. Having the mama that I have, I've had to learn how to just deal with unanswered questions. So that's my name. That's my name story. My mom says my name means unique one sent by God. Zarandrian says a different meaning. My name is Zarandrian Shuntrell. That's my name. So question number 2, where are you from? The best city on the planet, baby. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. That's the second question. How tall are you is question number 3. I am 5'5". I'm not that tall. I'm not exceedingly short. My swag 10 feet, but I'm 5'5". How do you identify? That's the next question. I identify as me. I'm female assigned. I'm black. I'm Southern. I feel inside like a boy and a girl. I don't identify as a cisgender woman, although women's spaces feel safer for me. I guess the young folk are saying non-binary. That feels cute because of the meaning of non-binary. I love agender, and the prefix a means without, so without a gender. That's the best. My favorite pronoun is Zarandrian, but agender feels great. So that is how I identify. Are you single? If so, how long have you been single? I am single. I have been single for 4 years. My last relationship ended probably 3 days before the pandemic. It was like March 2020. We didn't know the pandemic was coming, but my last relationship ended March 2020. I've been single for 4 years. I'm outside. Shoot your shot, beloved. Shoot your shot. The next question is, what made you choose Spelman? So if you don't know, I'm a class of 2001 graduate of Spelman College. I chose Spelman in 3rd grade. So a little bit of sexism goes with this story. There was a church trip that was taking boys to Morehouse. But we right here and nobody set up a trip for the girls to go to Spelman. So I remember we sitting where I now know is an area like between Spelman and Morehouse. And the boys are going on this tour with the tour guide. And so I say, well, I'm coming to this school. I'm in 3rd grade. I'm like, well, I'm coming to this school when I grow up. The tour guide is like, actually, this is an all boys school, but Spelman is right across the street. And he pointed towards Spelman. And in an instant, I knew I was going to Spelman College. I never let up. I actually was only going to apply to Spelman, but my mama she said you have to apply to 3 schools. So I applied to Spelman, Xavier, and Clark. Got into all 3. And Spelman was always my choice. So that's what made me choose Spelman. The next question is, if you had had a similar gender identity in high school, would you have still gone to Spelman? Maybe not. I value specified spaces. I probably would have been that person back in the day that was like, I don't mind segregation. I just don't like the inequities in segregation. Like, I value segregated, sex segregated, race segregated, all those spaces. I see value in specified spaces. And because Spelman is an all-girl institution, and if I didn't identify as a girl, which I deeply identify as a girl, I don't identify as a woman. I tell people, I was a girl who didn't grow up to be a woman. But maybe not. Maybe I would have chosen one of the bazillion other institutions available for people who are not cisgender people or people who don't identify as girls at the time. I was actually on Roland Martin. I actually pushed against Spelman's trans policy. Surprisingly, not because I'm transphobic, but because Spelman as an institution is not set up for trans students. And to run your ass up into Spelman, a school designed for cisgender girls, and you non-binary and you trans and you running up in there, it's setting yourself up for the okie doke because it's not designed for you. So you are going to find more compounding issues in addition to what cisgender girls already experience at Spelman with homophobia, classism. You gonna find transphobia plus the homophobia plus the classism plus all of that plus ableism is an issue already. So I might not have gone to Spelman, although it was my dream school, if I identified back then like I do now. Maybe not. I value arrogance that is backed up. I devalue arrogance that is not supported by greatness. Like, people who are arrogant and mediocre drive me crazy. But I value arrogance that is backed up by some substantive shit. So I actually may have gone to Howard or Hampton. Those are the 2 schools I would not have gone to Xavier. I could see Xavier's library emblem on the building from my front porch as a kid. Didn't want to go to Xavier, didn't want to go to Dillard, but I may have 99% chance I would be a Bison if I didn't go to Spelman or if I identified the way I do now back then. Howard or Hampton? Oh yeah, I love them both. Probably because I live in DC, I love Howard a little bit more. But the majority of the people I meet who went to Howard got their shit together. It seems to be, they cocky too, but it seems to be backed up by something. I love arrogance that's backed up by substance. I cannot stand arrogance that is rooted in mediocrity. So, to answer your question, long story short, I may not have gone to Spelman. I may have gone to Howard or Hampton. The first book where you saw yourself. Ooh. I'll be right back. I'm back. This book, I didn't even read these questions ahead of time. I don't know how to make this focus. Oh, wait. Did I do this for the first time? I see people do it all the time. This book is called Does Your Mama Know? This book came out in 1997, and happenstance, 1997 is the year I graduated high school. I am the class of 97, and this book is an anthology. It's a collection of stories by Lisa Seymour, a native of New Orleans. Does Your Mama Know reflects the complexity of emotions that accompany a black lesbian's coming out. These 49 short stories, poems, interviews, and essays, fiction and nonfiction, make up a powerful collection of original and new writing by 41 women. Does Your Mama Know? The first time I read Does Your Mama Know, I felt seen. So the first book where I saw myself, there's a particular anthology in here, and I haven't read this book in probably 20 years, but I still remember. There's an anthology. Back then I used to hoop. I used to play basketball. I walked onto Spelman's basketball team. I don't know what that is really saying. I remember being a Midnight Madness tryout, and I just went in. I wasn't bad. I could have been in the WNBA if I'd had more confidence. I really, really believe that. And I don't say that about no other sport. Maybe track. My next lifetime, I would love to be a track and field star. But anyway, back to Does Your Mama Know? There's an anthology in there, a story in there of a hooper. And she was my age, and she was trying to come out. And even though I was reading that book in 97, it's crazy that I still didn't really realize I was reading about me, but I still was seeing myself, but it wasn't consciously clicking for a while. So that's the first book, Does Your Mama Know? It's a series of 49 stories of coming out, black women coming out. Next question, do you want children? Absolutely the fuck not. I have never had a moment in my life where I said I want, and I want to be specific on how I'm answering this question. Where I've ever said I want to birth a child. And I sometimes feel bad about that because, you know, black women, black people with uteruses have really bad like fibroids and stuff. My uterus is no fibroids. My period is relatively normal. Now that I'm getting a little older, you know, I'll be 45 in October, but I don't have fibroids. And it's sad because it's like there's so many people with uteruses that want children but can't have them because they have fibroids and shit. And I have no GYN issues, but I have never wanted to birth a child. Matter of fact, when I see parents with children, it is even more affirmation. I think I'm a lot too selfish for that. And I believe that all things stop for parenthood, like to be charged with the responsibility to ensure that somebody does not die every day who cannot take care of themselves. All things must stop so you can do that. Like, not all things, but the level of self-sacrifice, I'm too selfish. I'm the only child. My mama still to this day will admit I intentionally didn't make you share. Like, she has various theories of why forcing children to share. I also didn't get whippings. So I'm too selfish to make the level of sacrifice. And because I'm low-key a perfectionist and I understand the charge of parenthood, nigga, I'm not trying to give up all of that. Besides the fact that it just doesn't, to me, seem like a fun thing. It seemed like a sacrificial thing. It seemed like a worthwhile thing, like you get the reward in later moments. But I have never in life wanted to birth a child. I don't care how cute the kid was. I am the kid whisperer. They look at me, they wave at me, they love me. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna give you back to your parents. I have never wanted to birth nothing. The truth of the matter is that I was pregnant in 8th grade and I had my body miscarried. I should tell that story. That's gonna be a story time. I was pregnant in 8th grade. I'm gonna try to not name names, but I was pregnant in 8th grade, and even God was on my side back then. Like, this motherfucker don't need to be no parent. And no, I wasn't pregnant from no sexual assault. I was willingly consenting to doing shit I shouldn't have been doing in Holly Grove in 1993. But no, I have never wanted children. Now, would I and have I dated women with children? Absolutely. The person can already be here. I was gonna say child, but ideally they're not a child still right now. My person prayerfully is either not a parent and don't want to be, or has, accepted that they will not be, or their children are good and grown. Because see, when you're 44, you could date the mama, the grandma, and the child if the child is like 30 something. I'm in a good space. I'm in a good space in life. And I would prefer if my person's child is out of the house, or like an older teenager where they don't, you could leave them at home for weeks at a time. Because I like to travel. So, last question. Are you attracted to men? Yes. Now, do I want to fuck them? No. But am I attracted to them? Like, I see men and be like, damn, you a fine motherfucker. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think men are beautiful, objectively. But my clit does not jump. I don't even know if my clit jumped for men when I was fucking them. I haven't had sex with a man since 2001. And y'all heard me admit that I was pregnant in 8th grade, so I was clearly fucking for a minute. Dudes. I don't know if I was really attracted to them like that for real. Even then. I didn't get jealous. I didn't experience jealousy or any type of emotion like that until I started dating women. But I am absolutely physically, like objectively attracted to men. Like, I know a fine ass man when I see one. But does that translate to sexual attraction? No. And I don't think I was overwhelmingly sexually attracted to men even when I was having sex with men. I've been gay and queer for a mighty long time, y'all. So yes, I am attracted to men. Physically, objectively, but that doesn't translate to sexual attraction. And there is a huge distinction between physical attraction and sexual attraction. That's why we got asexual people. They be sometimes physically attracted to people, but they don't want to smash. So yes, the last one makes me feel warm and fuzzy. It says, it's not the last one. There are many more questions here. I may do a part 2. The last thing says, not a question, just a comment. You are beautiful. And to that I say, thank you. I really do appreciate compliments like you are beautiful. People may not realize, but when men say that they don't get told that they are handsome or beautiful or attractive, it is very true. As somebody who went from being the cute as a button little girl who got doted on and told how cute I was into who people think is a man or a more masculine presenting person, that shit plummeted. Like, being told that you are physically attractive, people think that it's a turn on when they say I'm attracted to your mind. Girl, fuck my mind. I'm trying to fuck you. Like, what is happening? So to that person, I say thank you for straight up saying you are beautiful. Because masculinity and masculine people do not as readily get told that they are physically attractive as women and feminine people. So I appreciate y'all for sending me those questions. I hope you enjoyed this part 1 of the Q&A. Please subscribe to this channel. I have a goal of being monetized. That means I need 500 subscribers and X amount watch hours. So I please pray and hope that you all watch the whole video. And I will do a part 2 Q&A soon. I will keep these questions. And so I thank you for watching my video. And as I always say at the end of every video, you don't have to agree with me, but at least know why you think what you think. Peace.